Imagine moving to a new country full of hope, only to find yourself in a bidding war for a basement apartment. Or being a lifelong resident watching your rent double while your paycheck stays the same. Canada's welcoming arms have brought in over 1 million newcomers last year, but our housing supply? It's lagging far behind. Is immigration fueling our housing crisis, or is it just the scapegoat? Today we're diving deep into the numbers, the narratives, and the nuances. Canada's population surged by 3.2% in 2023, marking the fastest growth in 66 years, primarily driven by temporary immigration. While this growth supports our labor force and economy, it also intensifies housing demand, especially in urban centers like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal. Ontario home prices increased by 101.7%. Nova Scotia prices rose by 101.6%. British Columbia experienced significant growth, with a 20.9% population increase contributing to housing demand. Nova Scotia, one-bedroom rents increased by 7.6% year-over-year. Saskatchewan, two-bedroom rents rose by 7.0%. Ontario, notably, some rental rates have decreased, with two-bedroom units down by 4.1%. While immigration contributes to population growth, it's not the sole factor in the housing crisis. Experts caution against blaming immigration entirely, emphasizing that the primary issue is the housing supply shortage. Yes, mass immigration can have a short-term negative impact on the housing market, particularly in regions with already limited housing supply. However, it's important to understand the full picture, including both the pressures immigration can place on the housing system and the long-term economic benefits immigration provides. Increased demand outpaces supply. Canada's immigration levels have hit record highs, with over 1 million newcomers in 2023. Housing construction hasn't kept pace, which means more people chasing fewer homes, especially in Ontario, British Columbia, and Nova Scotia. This demand pushes home prices and rents higher, especially in urban areas. Many newcomers initially rent rather than buy, putting significant strain on rental markets. Cities like Toronto and Vancouver have seen rental bidding wars, basement apartments doubling in rent, and students and newcomers unable to find basic housing. Cities weren't built to absorb this rapid growth. Infrastructure like transit, schools, and utilities is being stretched thin. Municipal planning and zoning often lags behind population growth, worsening housing shortages. So, immigration is like a significant driver of economic growth. It's not just about numbers, it's about the vibrancy and dynamism that immigrants bring to the economy. Their contributions, whether through innovation or filling crucial roles, really help to propel economic development forward. It's quite fascinating to see how these dynamics play out in the housing market and beyond. Immigrants fill labor shortages, especially in construction and housing trades. They pay taxes, buy goods, and fuel local economies, all necessary to fund and build housing. When managed properly, immigration sustains population growth, supports the aging workforce, and drives innovation. If Canada stopped immigration, we'd face labor shortages, economic slowdown, and an even tighter housing construction industry. CMHC, the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, says immigration contributes to housing demand, but that lack of supply is the core issue. A report by TD Bank concluded that slowing immigration alone won't fix housing, and in fact will hurt economic productivity in the long run. In 2024, the Canadian government launched Solving the Housing Crisis Canada's Housing Plan, aiming to unlock millions of new homes and make housing more affordable. Increase housing supply, accelerate construction of affordable housing units, urban planning reforms, encourage higher density developments in urban areas, support for newcomers, provide resources to help immigrants integrate and find housing. As of now, Canada has not released specific figures on the number of homes constructed under the Solving the Housing Crisis, Canada's housing plan. However, the federal government has set an ambitious target to unlock 3.87 million new homes by 2031. This goal includes a minimum of 2 million net new homes, in addition to the 1.87 million homes expected to be built by 2031 without additional policy interventions. Federal actions, including those outlined in Budget 2024 and Canada's housing plan, are projected to support at least 1.2 million of these net new homes. Canada's strength lies in its diversity and openness, but to maintain this, we must ensure that every resident, new or old, has a place to call home. Addressing the housing crisis requires a multifaceted approach, balancing immigration with sustainable housing development. Thanks for tuning in to the Hey How You Doin podcast. If you found value in today's discussion, share it with friends and family. Join the conversation on our social media channels, and let us know your thoughts on immigration and housing in Canada. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.